Hey everybody, Brannon Beliso here. Ooh, it's almost 10:30. Leaving the school in San Francisco. Have we all had those kinds of nights? Haven't we? Think about it. I think about the San Francisco location. When I first started it in the year 2000, I would work 17-hour days. Literally. And as you guys are coming aboard, please check in, say hi. I love to know who's out there and I love to know who's hanging with me on this trip home. So when I opened my first school in the year 2000, I would spend 17 hours a day. I would make a point of coming in the morning. So I was there to answer phones. If people came through the door, teach a kickboxing class. I would train throughout the day. I would do some grassroots marketing. I hung flyers on the poles where you tore off the numbers. I went into laundromats and hung stuff there. I put rack cards on the windshields of cars. Anywhere and everywhere I could be. I was looking in every elementary school, everywhere I could possibly be to let people know I was there. I went about doing that. Hey, what's happening, Susan? Chris Malloy, what's happening, sir? So, tonight's entry is about success is on the mat. I think about it as a small boy that stuttered, that was physically weak, and I had a speech impediment. It was on the mat that I discovered confidence. It was on the mat that I discovered discipline. It was on the mat that I learned to achieve goals. It was on a mat. Truly, it was on a mat. So with that said, I just want to be mindful of that, and I want to share that with you passionately. It was on the mat that I discovered myself, that process of self-discovery. It was on the mat. So I know the consultants will tell us that in order to be successful, you need to stop teaching, you need to get off the mat and work on your business, not in it. Now I understand that. I get it. You need to manage your time better. If all you're doing is teaching, and never working on your business, then that's not a good thing. But I think we must never forget the art and the culture of martial arts perpetuates itself because we are training. We are constantly improving our art. We are always bettering ourselves. My instructor's 78 and he still teaches and trains. My other instructor's in his 80 and he still trains. That should never, ever stop. And I don't know, man. Maybe because they're stuck in a suit behind a desk, that there's a part of their heart that's dying because they don't get to teach anymore. They don't get to get on that mat and sweat and train. So it's not that they've forgotten. They might even be a little bit jealous. So they might pass that through on their rhetoric, on their systems, on their philosophies, on what it takes to be successful in the martial arts. Hey, what's up, Don? What's up, Don? Mike Kim. Dukas. What's happening, Dominic? A lot of people on tonight. So I just want to really remind you about that. And then take that a step further. That's where the magic happens. It happens on the mat. On the mat, right? If you teach amazing classes to where your clients are so happy, your students are so successful, they're getting results in your kickboxing classes, I got to believe that's the best form of marketing in the whole wide world. You feel me? So be mindful of that. I look at my mat as a stage. I also look at it as fertile soil where we plant seeds and we take somebody who's with no confidence and 2 left feet, with no coordination. We take them from that to this amazing person who's reaching their full potential. You feel me? So with that said, people ask me, well, how have you earned 362 students in 22 months at your new location? How do you maintain a school with 560 year in and year out? Or normally up around 600. We're under a little bit, but that's okay. That's okay. How do we do that? And I've got to say, in the words of Kyoshi Kovar, number 1, teach amazing classes. Amazing classes. Because I don't care how much sizzle and salesmanship you have up front and you close that freaking deal, if when the day's done your martial arts sucks and your teaching sucks, then people are going to leave. And that contract's not going to keep them there. It's not. It's not. Good. I'm glad to hear that. Because having that motivation to stay on the mat keeps you in tune with your team. I love training with my team. We trained again tonight, and I'm sharing with all these different teaching methods that I've only begun to discover after 50 years, and sharing with someone that's been teaching for 10 and helping enlighten and take them to that next level of teaching quickly, swiftly, in such a way that's powerful. It's powerful. Because isn't that what we're basically doing? We're disguising the repetition. So the success of teaching is being able to disguise that repetition successfully. Because like Bruce Lee says, I don't fear the man that knows 10,000 kicks. I fear the man that's done one kick 10,000 times. It's the same thing here. You want to be able to make sure your students are proficient, that they can defend themselves. I mean, you think about it realistically. If you're in a real fight, or let's say a tournament, most of you, how many techniques do you realistically need? 3, 4? Not many, right? Not many. Not many. A good right cross, maybe a good round kick, whatever. I had a good rear naked choke, an arm bar, whatever. It's very basic. But the thing is to be able to disguise that repetition so people feel engaged. It's fun, exciting, it's new. But for me, a lot of that is attitude. I was sharing that with the team tonight. How is it that after 50 years of doing martial arts, hey Bill, what's happening, sir? How is it after 50 years of doing martial arts, I'm still in love with the martial arts? Because every day I wake up and I step on that mat, I'm a white belt. I'm a white belt. And I step on that mat and I say to myself, wow, what can I find new in this technique today? Because I'm so in love with the martial arts, I see it through the eyes of love every day, so it's fresh. And I share that. It's just like my relationship. I wake up every day, and I haven't been married for 10 years. I've been married for one day, and I want to kiss my wife like it's the first time and the only time. We talked about that being in the moment. If you want to be able to walk up to that parent and talk to them, make sure you serve that kid, make sure 2 kids aren't matched wrong and one's going to get hurt. You need to be in the moment right here, right now. You want to be able to teach that curriculum at the highest level, you need to be fully engaged in the moment. You're teaching a class and you're thinking about what you're going to eat for dinner. You're teaching a class, you're thinking about something like a bill. You can't do anything about it. All you can do at that moment in time is give your heart and soul to that class. But please be ever, 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 ever mindful that it's not rooted in your ego. Somebody stuck their flyer on our cars in front of our school in San Francisco. And all it says is the guy's name, the guy's degree. It doesn't say anything about what is your challenge. Why? Why should I come to you? All it does is says, look at me, look at me, look at me. And that is the worst place to market from people. I cannot tell you. You can have an about page and talk about the instructor at your website. But really, if you're going to market from the point of, look at me, I'm this degree, you should come to me. And oh my God, that's so ego-based. Could you imagine if Steve Jobs put his face all over, every Apple ad that ever came out? You'd see him on the cover of Time magazine and things like that, right? But you never saw him, in an ad with a MacBook Pro. Most of those products sit alone against a white background. He's saying, look at this product. It is so badass. I don't need a bunch of people in this ad. I don't need a bunch of foo-foo fonts. I'm going to use a clean, simple font. I'm going to use a white background, and I'm going to show you this product in its purest form for the magic and integrity that it holds. You feel me? Apple inspires me a lot. So remember, success is on the mat. Every time you step on that mat and you lead by example. Every time you step on that mat and you train your team. You train your team, right? You train your team. Every time a new student steps on that mat and you empower them with confidence, you empower them with a real skill set that you are proficient at because you practice it every day, because you're constantly learning, you're constantly evolving, you're constantly growing. Oh, I'm on a roll tonight. I was talking to a gentleman tonight about, I want to get back into jiu-jitsu. And there's something magic about being a white belt, standing at the back of the class. I don't have any pressure and there's nothing to perform. All I got to do is be me. And through movement, like my instructor said, through movement is that art of self-discovery. Thank you, Dukas. Step by step with my teaching and structure becomes better with your help and thinking. Thank you, sir. Thank you. You know, if you stop to look about it, if you look at somebody dead in the eye, Dukas, what do you see up close, Dominic? You see a reflection of your own self in the blackest part of their eyes. I'm just a reflection of you guys. Please know that. I love Kenpo too, Bill. I love, love, love Kenpo. I love Kenpo. And I dig it, Suzanne. You should be planning your curriculum. You should be pre-framing. You should be writing lesson plans. You're a freaking educator. You're a teacher. Please don't do what most of our teachers did. Step on the mat and teach whatever they feel like teaching tonight. Don't do that. Don't do that. You know, and spend that time, spend money, spend a lot of time, energy, focus, resources in developing your curriculum. That is the food in your restaurant, and it better be damn good food. It should. It should. So I'm challenged when people teach a hodgepodge of different things they're certified in, and they abandon the art that they know proficiently. I was talking to this one schooler, and he had like every different program that's new and shiny on the block advertised in his windows. And I said, what do you have a black belt in? And he stood up tall and he looked at me, boom, Taekwondo, sir, 30 years. I said, sir, that's a heck of a lot more believable than some program you took, you know, for an 8-hour certification on the weekend, you know, for 2 days. My goodness. My goodness. You feel me? Because that's where the passion comes from. I love Kenpo. I wake up every day and I want to make Kenpo better because Kenpo's made me better. You feel me? You feel me? So success is on the mat. I discovered it on the mat. I've turned it into a profitable, very profitable 2 schools. I've watched people find success on the mat. I've been instrumental in guiding them to find that success. Please don't forget that. Train every day. Train with your team on a weekly basis. Train people to do it better than you. Inspire people on that mat. Recognize it is your stage. You cannot step out there and have a bad day. As they say in show business, you're only good as your last performance. Movies, you're only as good as your last movie. You are only as good as your last class. You cannot have a bad day. You hear me? You cannot have a bad day. So have that discipline when you get that uniform and you put it on, boom, go through a ritual. Shift that mindset quickly. Whatever's bothering you, whatever's stressing you, let it go. Because you're going to step on that mat, take that stuff onto the mat, teach poorly, and your school's still going to lose. You're still going to be stuck at 45. You're going to watch your attrition rate go up, your retention go down. You go, I don't know what's happening. Well, it starts and ends with you. So you've got to have that mindset, folks. I can't express that enough. I can't. So I was feeling it tonight, you know. Watching my team, seeing what they do well, asking them what they could do better. Oh, 362 students. This new location is on a path to do $750,000 in its second year. And that wasn't through some slick salesmanship and some, I'm buying a new car right now for my wife. And I've done my homework. I've gone online. I know how much inventory is available in California. And this guy looks me square in the eye and says, we got to move on this quickly. There's only 4 of them. And I'm like, dude, you know, I just got off the internet. I'll show you right now. Take a look. You know, it's there. There's inventory. There's inventory. So that kind of salesmanship is yucky. And it has no place with a quality martial arts school. That type of used car salesmanship in a line with a quality martial arts school? I think not. I think not. You feel me? So I want you to listen to this one tonight. Listen to it again. Play it again in the morning. Play it again in the afternoon before you teach. Let it motivate you to ever remember and be mindful on a daily basis. You found your success on the mat. You found your confidence on the mat. You found your discipline on the mat. And for many of you, you now are making success on that mat. It's a profitable business. You're helping other people be successful. You're empowering a team. Do not forget that. And the minute you take your feet off that mat, you're going to put yourself further away from it, and further away from it. And there'll be that huge disconnect. A huge disconnect. And you want to be mindful of that. I felt that in San Francisco. I got away from it just a little bit. And I walked in there and felt like I was a foreigner. That's not good, man. That's not good. So it needs to be a balance, okay? It needs to be a balance. That is a huge part of my success, and that's why I wanted to share that with you tonight. Success is on the mat. Can you say it with me? Type it in right now. Success is on the mat. Type in there and tell me how you found success on the mat. What was that aha moment? What was that defining moment you said, you know what? This is badass. I want to be a martial arts instructor. This is how empowered I am. This is how much success I feel. This is how much confidence that I'm embraced by. That, you know what? I'm going to be a martial arts teacher. I'm going to be a martial arts school owner. I'm going to make this my life and my business. When did that happen? Write it down, because you should never forget that. Write it down. Type it in. Let me hear it. What was that aha moment? What was it? Success on the mat. Thank you, Bill. Success on the mat. Cool? Share this with anybody that needs motivation, because I know it. We get burnt out. We get tired. Oh man, I got to teach one more class. But if you have that mindset, just for 1 second, you will lose a student. That trial will not convert. Your team will not be inspired, and they'll teach poorly. You feel me? You feel me? You cannot have a bad day. You cannot. You must step on that mat and be better than you were yesterday, better than you were the day before, and better than you'll ever be. You feel me? I hope so. Alrighty, folks. If you don't have any questions for me, I'm going to wrap this one up. I love driving home with you guys. It's such a gift. Such a gift. Alrighty, folks. This is Brannon Beliso. Look for my webinar with Rainmaker coming up. I'm going to talk about flows. Flows. All right? Because we need to know how to write good flows to communicate our why. And I'm going to help you do that. Go to brannonbeliso.com. I've got a lot of great online products now. Seminars, videos that are cut up and edited to give you the type of innovative content that is not the same song and dance we've been hearing in this industry. It's not. So I ask you to take a look at brannonbeliso.com. Cool, folks? Until we talk again, you go out there and live your best life.